Hello, Hojoz here, and welcome back to the Asari fighting competition. Today, the Stingrey by Sinair will battle the Asari Mark 4 C2 by me, and the CFC Bulbus Mark 1 by me will battle the BV Trident by BV Flyer 1.4.1. It's set to be a very cool episode, since I'm recording this voiceover bit after I recorded the battles. Anyway, let's go to set battles. And with the brackets out of the way, it is time to see how the Stingray will fare against the Asari Mark 4 C2. The Asari Mark 4 C2, of course, featuring M230s in a different gun configuration than usual, with other planes that I've built, of course. Other planes usually using 3 Vulcans and laid out over the fuselage differently than the Asari Mark 4 C2. But yeah, that doesn't matter if the Stingray can beat it. Let's see if it can. As we start the competition. Well then, we should start the competition. I'll have to fill some time. I guess I'll talk a bit about, upload schedules. Because, well, I hope you are enjoying the fact that you are getting CFC on both Monday and Friday. And basically getting this season over with twice as quickly as usual. Because, well, there's the obvious fact that the rule set wasn't great. And that I want to move on to the next season as the competition begins. And thinking about that, does it influence my commentary? Probably it does. Anyway, it's about time to engage with some AIM-9s, as there they finally go. 2 AIM-9s heading the way of the Asaris, as also some AIM-9s coming towards the Stingray. Let's see if it dodges. It looks like it. Looks like it dodged. As that Asari apparently didn't. Oof. The Asari apparently getting intercepted by an AIM-9 fired by a Stingray. Or, of course, an AIM-9 exploding on its wing. Oh no. That would surely mean that the Asari is basically out of it for this round and would secure a victory for the Stingray. As we can see here that it's apparently very difficult to dodge an AIM-9 that's basically already on your tail. The Asari Mark 4 C2 here losing some more stuff as another AIM-9 is hit. The C2 apparently not being that well at dodging missiles despite being basically the same craft, apart from featuring different guns. That's a surprise to me, because I certainly thought that the Stingray would lose. But it doesn't, as the Stingray is probably going to move on to the next round to mean a 2v1 with a heavily damaged Asari Mark 4 C2, would surely mean that the Stingray wins. As, well, the Stingray wins, unsurprisingly. The Asari is still having everything to fire guns though. I made sure that it would have everything to fire guns still. But yeah, Stingray apparently being superior on firing missiles, and the Asari being inferior on dodging missiles. I mean, suppose it could have to do with the fact that M230s are a slight bit heavier than Vulcans, but who knows? Well, you would know if you're going to the SPH and see how much the guns weigh, and then realize how much ammo I packed into the C2. I mean, it could also just be an issue with the C2 having a slightly shifted center of mass, therefore the AI not being very competent and such, compared to the other Asari Mark 4 C. But yeah, as I said, It's a surprise to see that the Asari can dodge as well as other Asaris. I don't know why. Why would it do such a thing? Anyway, with the obvious weakness of the Asari out of the way, being ever so more obvious in this battle apparently, it's time to engage again. Let's see if the Asari can do something more than just being a target for missiles. Maybe it could actually dodge them this time. Suppose it's more difficult to dodge with engines that are plastered basically all over the aircraft. Anyway, missiles coming towards the Asari, as the Asari had an opportunity to fire missiles there, at least this Asari had. And then 2 missiles heading towards the Stingrays. Stingray dodged, as well as that Asari Mark 4C2. It dodged too, so we still have 2v2 with no one taken out on the initial missile encounters. Or, well, actually it has, since one of the missiles apparently exploded close enough to a Stingray to make the Stingray lose one of its engines. And, well, a Stingray only has 1 engine, apparently. Well then, that's going to be an obvious win for the Asari, isn't it? As, well, this Stingray is apparently behind the Asari. Surprised? Oof, that looked like a nice hit on the Stingray, as the Stingray apparently couldn't dodge a missile either. And it's a very, very easy 1-1 for the Asari. This battle basically coming down to who can dodge missiles and who has the camera on board, leading me to think that there's an apparent camera disadvantage for flying on board with one of the craft as we once again take off for the 3rd match. And to be honest, I didn't expect these battles to be over so quickly and be so unexciting, and also be in a way that I can't really keep track of who has been damaged and who hasn't. As you've seen in the last battle and the battle before that, 1 craft being damaged out of my sight, basically highlighting how crap my directing abilities are. But okay then. You'd almost think that there's an obvious difference between starting KSP today and starting KSP last Monday in terms of missile behavior. Anyway, disregarding that, because it's probably not that way, knowing my luck, as well, as I said in the preparation episode, expect craft to kill themselves using their own missiles, and, well, they have, as a Stingray basically just killed itself firing a missile, highlighting again one of the issues with BDAC. Well, if it's an issue, that would of course be up to the BDAC team, and because apparently it isn't, me actually expecting this to be saved in newer versions, but probably I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't. Anyway, the Stingray loses 2-1. These battles are very quick because you keep killing yourselves by either not being able to dodge missiles or firing your missile and then blowing yourself up. As well, there's really nothing to commentate on in this battle, because, well, it's just fire missile, take out plane, fire missile, take out plane, fire missile, take out plane. I can't commentate on that. I cannot commentate on that. The only thing that I can commentate on, however, is craft closely following each other, craft shooting at each other, craft accidentally flying into the ground, craft being damaged. Literally any other thing than missiles and missile hits. Because, well, it's apparently pretty difficult to predict missile hits and damage. I don't know. I guess we'll have to deal with that then. As it's once again time to engage. This time flying on board with the Asari. And it would be actually pretty crucial to see if Asaris or Stingrays blow up by firing missiles this time, because apparently firing missiles is not that great. Well, the Stingray doesn't blow itself up, as we can see here, and as we look behind, I lost the other Asari again. That missile's hitting. Yeah, that's a missile hit. That's most certainly a missile hit. As that other Stingray is also being engaged by a missile, 2 missiles even, from the Asari, but 1 missile blows up before it could reach the target. As it's now finally time for some guns. The first time that guns have actually been fired remotely towards an opponent this time, as the Stingray is actually firing at the wingman of that Asari. Now, the Asari's speed advantage being very, very apparent as it pulled away from the Stingray. The Stingray is coming back, however. This is then showing that the AI doesn't really know how to dogfight properly. As the other Stingray has engaged the other Asari with its guns. It's now finally turning out to be a fun battle, as no one is apparently being taken out by any missiles. And there comes some more Asari gunfire towards the Stingray there. And that, oh, it's actually a Stingray firing on an Asari. Let's see how it fares in battle, as apparently it has lost some performance or roll rate thingamajigger issues, as it's actually a 2v1 with the other Stingray also engaging on the Asari Mark IV C26. Stingray is seemingly disengaging now, or not. As well, I think the issue here is that the Asari fired one of its AIM-120s and not the other, which is now giving it some maneuverability issues. As very clearly now, it has been hit and it probably has been taken out. As well, there it goes. I'm suspecting friendly fire actually. Yeah, that is a very, very broken Asari. And well, this Asari also fired just one AIM-120, as it's just becoming apparent that firing just one AIM-120 on an Asari is a recipe for unbalancing the Asari. These are now firing on the Stingray and not hitting a lot. Oof. Well, a 2v1, surely the Stingrays win this one and make it a 2-2, which shows that they are actually pretty evenly matched. Anyway, 2 AIM-19s, wow, 2 AIM-9s heading towards an Asari, missing by a mile actually. More looking like going towards the wingman of that Stingray actually. As another AIM-120 gets fired, does it hit its teammate? No, it doesn't. As now it's time for the Asari to show what the AIM-230s, wow, M230s can do. However, it surely won't win this battle, seeing as, well, it's being outnumbered. Come on then, fire them guns. Ooh, that's actually a nice hit, taking out one of the Stingray's wings. It's maybe there's still a chance, but it's surely leaving it very, very close, as maybe a lethal mistake here is being made by the Asari, not engaging the Stingray that is closer and going towards its 6. I mean, that could be a very lethal mistake, that could be a very dumb mistake, as it's receiving gunfire from the Stingray, however the Stingray not being able to hit much, as is a pattern with this BDAC version, the guns not being able to hit much. However, I've heard that this will be fixed in coming versions of BDAC, thus I'm excited for CFC Season 4. As if that wasn't apparent yet. Well then, sorry, you've lost your AIM-120s. Both AIM-120s, one having been fired away. Oh no, it runs out of fuel! It runs out of fuel! No! No! Come on, Stingray, just make it quick. Finish it off. Make it quick. Jeez. I didn't expect it to run out of fuel. I mean, it's a close battle and it's a long battle, so, well, with the Asari being very, very prone to running out of fuel, it will, of course, run out of fuel, as, well, the other Stingray that lost one of its wings is just flying away from the battle, being all scared and shit, or not being able to maneuver because it lost one of its wings. It's surely flying into the ground now, or not, since apparently it has a gimbal enabled on the Panther, basically saving it there. Stingray here flying actually away from the Asari, as the Asari is very close to hitting the ground. You may want to deploy your landing gear now. As we can see the Stingray losing altitude in the background and gaining it again. Well, with running out of fuel being a flaw by the designer, I'd call this a win for the Stingray. Also because, well, the other Asari is scattered all over the ground. That's surely making for a decisive victory for the Stingrays. Despite the Stingrays not coming out of it entirely undamaged. But then the 5th and final battle will make one of these go towards the quarterfinals. And let's hope for your sake that it's the Stingray. Because, well, that would mean that one less Hojoz craft is entering into the quarterfinals, and thus one less opportunity for me to get a free entry into the semifinals and then maybe even get a free entry into the finals. Although I highly doubt that. Anyway, Stingray taking off. I think it's time for a lovely, lovely onboard view. As we take off and wait for the battle to begin again. Some other things to note then. CFC Season 4. It's going to allow AP+, since, well, lock-on ranges are irrelevant, as it's a guns-only tournament. It's gonna allow AP+, and thus your beloved Tiger engines will show up again, Fan Cherry and Crispy Nuggets, because I know you love your Tiger engines. As you said in the Discord, actually, your craft being based around the the engines, as it is time to fire some missiles, and the first missile fired by the Stingray's wingman actually looking like it's damaged the Stingray a slight little bit, as that Asari is down due to a missile hit that is basically spot on, right on target. Phenomenal missile hit by Stingray there, as the Stingray is firing guns, but that Asari isn't out of it yet, as it fires its aim M230s, hoping to get a hit. And what, Stingray? What have you done there? What was that? I thought surely it has damage, but it doesn't. weird maneuvers there from the Stingray, as the Stingray apparently has won the battle 2-3, seeing as this Asari is just basically a cockpit and nothing else. Sadly though, because we were in cockpit view, I couldn't see if it was a missile kill, a missile kill, a missile kill, or accidental firing of your own missiles towards your own plane, or a missile kill, or maybe even a gun skill, but most likely missile kill. Oh, dumb me didn't realize that one of the control surfaces was gone on this Stingray. Oops. Well, even the professional commentators on Formula 1 miss some tiny details sometimes. So I'll take that one as it is time to see how the Bulbus will fare against the BV Trident. Yes, indeed. We'll switch to the runway with different planes right about now. And with the lovely Trident lined up, as well as the Bulbuses, it will be time to see if the BV Trident will win and basically live up to expectations as they have been shown in flight tests, or if the Bulbus has some kind of advantage over the Trident, seeing it through to the quarterfinals. Let's take them off then, drone against drone. Although the Trident is probably more competent, probably better. It looks better, that's for sure. It's just a lovely thing to look at, to be honest. Why does it look better? Why is it lovely to look at? Well, because it's a Trident. It has 3 wings, 3 equal wings, and it just goes to show what these people are prepared to do to be competent and to win battles. And it's just fun to see how unusual the solution is as it's time to engage. And then let's see if the Bulbus will get horribly battered by the Trident, or if the Trident will get horribly battered by the Bulbus, as we are closing in on engagement ranges. It's not engaging. The Bulbus is actually having the engagement advantage there. 2 AIM-9s heading towards each of the Tridents as it's time to zoom out, and it looks like a hit, and the Trident is down. The other survived, but it's a 2v1 for the Trident, and it's surely is lost now, as it engages one of the Bulbuses with guns. The other Bulbus is too fast. Well, fuck. What? The Trident is just the Trident doesn't know which target to pick, and surely that Bulbus that has been hit is just, it didn't lose more than the missiles. Nice. As this Bulbus is, oh no, it's not engaging, and it exploded. Jeez, last minute AIM-9s, everyone, last minute AIM-9s. The Trident is having an obvious maneuverability advantage over the Bulbus, as I opted to go with a new layout for my planes, opting to use canards instead of giant space shuttle control surfaces as my main control surface there. The fact now that the Bulbus didn't have missiles helping it not all that much, as that surely is a hit. It didn't damage anything, but it is a hit, as it is time to fire those anti-30s and see really how good it is. Oh, it actually takes out the Trident. Oh, that's painful. Just see how hard hitting those M230s are, as the Bulbus takes a very, very unlikely victory. To be honest, I was just giving it up there, as you could probably hear in my commentary, but surprising? That is just surprising. It looked like the M230s were better at a larger range. What? Sorry, I'm just a little bit. I'm just happily surprised. Wow. Just one mistake from the Trident. Letting the Bulbus go on its 6. It proved fatal for him. And of course the other Trident couldn't dodge the missile. To be honest, I find missile dodging a little bit questionable in this version, but everything that doesn't look like BDAC 1.0.0.0 is questionable in my brain, and probably not agreed upon by the BDAC devs in the forums, which is why I don't take that issue to them. Anyway, then 1-0 for the Bulbus. As this episode is proving to be a slight disrespectful commentary on the BDAC forums, which, to be honest, I shouldn't do. But I'm too honest for my own good, so I am doing such a thing. And by the way, that you've just seen, that's just an inherent issue with the Bulbus. Doesn't matter how far you put them away from each other, they just always nearly cross paths. It's very annoying. Sometimes they even blow each other up by crashing into each other. Unbelievable scenes. Anyway, it's it's soon time to engage with the missiles again. As we've seen before, lock-on advantage for the Bulbus as the missiles go. Then 3 missiles fired, reduced to 1 after some missile explosions. And no one got hit in the initial missile encounter. Of course I had to say something. I think that's the Trident launching a missile and then blowing itself up because the missile was taking too sharp of an angle towards the rifle plane, and then just basically blowing up as well. Too much of an angle results in colliding with an aircraft, as you do. So then one Trident pretty much out of it, and this Bulbus looking like it's done for too. It's once again coming towards a one-on-one fight, as that's a missile that's gonna hit, and that's a Trident down. And with this Trident screwing itself over by firing a missile too close to the opponent, surely it's a win for the Bulbus. That's a 2-0 I didn't expect, to be honest, as that Bulbus just crashed into the ground, and that's another missile hit. And it took some guns with it, as far as I can see here. Then it's pretty much being up to the Bulbus to finish off what remains of the other Trident, this being actually competent at dodging missiles. Sadly not for the Bulbus. Then the guns left to finish him off. So yeah, that's 2-0 for the Bulbus. A 2-0 I didn't expect. A 2-0 which I'm very happy for. And why didn't I expect that? Well, this thing is pretty much on par or slightly worse than the Mark 4C, which it was paired against. I'm just I'm just very happily surprised that the Bulbus is winning this. I mean, there's obvious bias from a commentator here, because the commentator entered the competition, and well, one of the ways from which you can tell that a commentator is competent at its job is that the commentator doesn't have a bias. And to be honest, it's very hard to do for me. I find it very hard to not have a bias, thus making my commentary slightly worse than others. But it's better than not having commentary at all. At least for some of us it is. Because, well, let's face it, if you're here for the commentary, and not because Jolly Roger Aerospace is superior because he just uses music. To be honest, I find Jolly Roger Aerospace superior to my own series, but that's just because I like to lower myself down to a level from which, well, it's just not fun. Anyway, the missiles have been fired towards the Trident. Let's see if it dodges. It doesn't. Trident, up your dodging game. Please, just up your dodging game. As that was a slight parts cloud from the Bulbus, but I can't see honestly what was damaged by that. Well, I guess there has been some damage as that Trident is going down. And surprised much? That's a 3-0 for the Bulbus. That was an easy 3-0 for the Bulbus. The first easy 3-0 of the series, of course, but a 3-0 I didn't expect, and thus the best outcome of the series yet. And that's a very, very nice note to end on, isn't it? Not for BV Flyer 1.4.1, I know, but for me it is. And I'm just wow. Well, it's time to end of the episode then. I so very much hope to see you next time. And here's the favorite artist of Hojoz, Bureaucratic, with easily the best number, with the best single he's ever made, simply because it's featured on my channel. Boys, Bob.